I thought Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert had his worst game of the season. I thought he was worse in this game than he was in the last wildcard round, right? Against the Texans where he threw the 4 picks. In that game, he was being aggressive. He was trying to make throws. In this one, he was uber conservative. He was very scared of pushing the ball down the field. This is the second play of the game, 2nd and 9. We're going to get under center play action. We're going to have 2 vertical stems from Quentin Johnston and Ladd McConkey. Johnston's going to stay in the high corner. Ladd's just going to try to sit down in the void between zones, right? And then we're going to have flat control here, back is going to sit over the ball. So when we snap this, get to the top of our drop, start hitching up, we see, all right, Johnston's nicely covered up here in the high corner, and then they sank very well onto this McConkey route. So we can go fast to the flat right here, right? But this is Scott Matlock. We don't really like throwing the ball to Scott Matlock. Tucker Fisk here, back's just coming through. So Herbert decides to scramble. What's important is to watch is Carlton Davis right here, right? He's the outside deep third corner. When Herbert starts to scramble, he didn't really have a route that occupied him down the field, so he starts driving down to go get connected, and that allows Ladd McConkey to run just right into space. I mean, guys, like, oh man. It's a lot of room for Ladd McConkey, and Herbert is scrambling, but he has his eyes downfield. He's not past the line of scrimmage, and he's not at this time pressured, right? We watched this end zone view. All right, line of scrimmage is a 34. We under center play action fake. All right, they got Ladd nicely covered up there. We're going to scramble drill. Herbert right here pumps, and I think he's pumping Vidal, who's not looking. You have Carlton Davis here stepping down, but again, this is the line of scrimmage. I think he thinks he's closer to the line than he is, because right after this pump, I mean, he secures the football and he goes. Maybe he doesn't see Ladd here through all this mess, but man, this is probably a touchdown if Herbert sees him. Now, what kills me, watch Ladd turn, is like, was there somebody behind me? He's stunned that Herbert doesn't throw this, right? But okay, scramble drill play. Maybe he doesn't see him, whatever. Here's a 3rd and 12, right? We're going to send Rondé Gadsden in motion and then move him back. We're trying to figure out what we're getting coverage shell-wise. It's a little bit peculiar, right? We've got what looks like it's going to be 2 high safeties, though Jalen Hawkins here is very, very close to the hash. Marcus Jones and Christian Gonzalez on the outside are both sagging off, and they're opening their hips to Herbert. We've stayed in tight coverage here to the bottom. So we're not expecting blitz, right? They don't have anybody up, but coverage-wise, we're not sure we're getting yet. Concept-wise, Keenan Allen vertical down the sideline, seam, Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnston's running this dig, Gaz in the shallow behind, and then the back's still flat. This is what we've got here. 3rd and 12, right? So the line to gain quite far down the field. So run this, what do we see? Well, right before the ball is snapped, you see Marcus Jones flip his hips and start to gain width this way, right? That safety there to the field starts to gain width as well. Jalen Hawkins just stays low, stays flat. He's actually going to drive down. We end up in a Tampa 2 structure, right? Where we've got 2 deep safeties, deep half players. They're actually wider than they typically would be in cover 2 because you have a 3rd deep player, that pole runner, right? So anything on the seam, like for example, Ladd McConkey's on that big post, that seam route, he would run with McConkey. Herbert sees this, and so he gets off of that front side and comes backside. You see him do it right here. What's frustrating is because these safeties are so wide apart, and you have McConkey going against this pole runner here in Hawkins, who is not opening his hips and who is staying low, you have actually a lot of room to throw this over the top. 3rd and 12, right? I mean, this is a down to be throwing the football, and this is down to be pushing the ball down the field. So when he's here, and you see he's already reset his eyes, but I wonder if you can read the positioning and the depth of this pole runner and say, you know what? There's no way the safety's getting to it, right? I mean, Marcus Jones is his hips are this direction, his momentum's this direction. He's not getting in the middle of the field. This safety's at the top of the numbers. We have a lot of room here. I'd love to throw this. I really would. And I've seen a quarterback in Justin Herbert be willing to throw this before. As it is, he brings his eyes to the left side, checks it down. Gadsden goes, picks up 10. It's a 4th and 2, and they don't go for this. But to me, missed opportunity. 1st and 10 again, ball on the 33-yard line, right? We have 4 to the field and then just a tight end on the boundary. These 3 players are all receivers, and yet we have a linebacker walked over and another backer here. So they're telling you zone coverage, right? There's no way they're playing man-to-man with that. We're going to motion Quentin Johnston, and after we motion him, we got a play action fake here with a pulling guard, so we can go shot play, right? Quentin Johnston's running the over route, running the through route. We're going to have Ladd McConkey behind him on the dig, and then Trey Harris behind him on the post. We're basically saying, listen, we're going to send a lot of bodies left to the deep right, and we're going to make these safeties declare and put them in conflict, get them tethered to certain routes, and then potentially throw the one-on-one, the open player. So who opens up, right? Play action fake. And we see coverage-wise, we get quarters up here, right? This is a quarters corner, a quarter safety. They're one-on-one with these vertical routes. To the other side of the field, we have a deep half safety, and the corner stayed low, right? So this is like cover 6, right? Quarters and then cover 2 on the other side. What that means to me as the quarterback is, if Johnson can occupy this deep half safety, then I have a one-on-one right here and a one-on-one right here. And critically, Ladd's going to be breaking to the middle of the field, right? Look how far off that safety is. Look how he has outside leverage relative to where McConkey is. So to me, this is a clear hitch, and then throw this football to the middle as McConkey breaks and as Johnson occupies the deep half safety. It's what happens. Look, I mean, like, this is so throwable. Absolutely, you are worried about the backer sinking, but you got to be able to get this ball over and then into that big area of the field, right? This is Ladd McConkey space. You can even like lean him upfield a little bit, right, to protect yourself from that linebacker. Herbert's already checking it down, and this pocket is good. I mean, like, dude, I like. There's absolutely pressure coming right here, and absolutely Sailor got worked a little bit. But I've seen Justin Herbert so many times this season. It's what he was doing so well relative to the offensive line play is hitch, be tall, be big, and drive this ball to the middle. So to me, like, this is an absolute got to hit this third of McConkey. Now, he picks up 7 yards, right? And the offense stays on schedule. So, you know, when you play cautious like this, you can keep the offense moving, but that was a big play opportunity. Last one here right before the half. We're in 3rd and 11, right? You just had sacked by Milton Williams. Can we push the football? Can we get into field goal range? We have timeouts, 48 seconds left. We need a big play. We are going to go Gadsden on the crosser, McConkey on the bender behind. We are vertical on the outside with Keenan Allen. We are vertical on the outside with Quentin Johnston. We're going to read the safeties after the ball snap. They're going to tell us what the coverage is. All right, we landed the back foot of our drop. This safety here stays low to occupy this crosser. Feels like the Patriots were confident this sort of a route was coming. This safety here as well is going to drive down on Ladd McConkey as he bends in. So you end up with nobody deep. There are no deep safeties. And you have one-on-one here on the outside, Quentin Johnson, and one-on-one here on the outside, Keenan Allen. Now, Keenan Allen against Christian Gonzalez, I don't love as a matchup. Quentin Johnston is going up against the backup corner because Carlton Davis got hurt a few plays previous. This is Charles Woods. We have low safety right away to that side of the field. And I mean, like the second we see this, we should know that there's no way this safety from the top of the numbers is going to get involved on a vertical ball, one-on-one, our starting X receiver against their backup corner. Look at the pocket. I mean, and Herbert hitches to it, right? He's reading that middle of the field. He sees the safety staying low, and you will see his helmet and his body plane move a little bit to Quentin Johnston on this vertical. Right there. And then he feels space and he starts running around. End zone view. Snap the football. You'll see his helmet, right? He's reading the middle of the field. This is okay. That safety stayed low. And then he has a moment where you see his head just pop. Right there. Where he's thinking, maybe I can throw this to Quentin Johnston, right? It's just one more hitch. It's so clear in front of you, and just hang this ball. You have a beautiful arm, Justin. Hang that ball 55 yards down the field. Your starting receiver, their backup quarterback, cornerback. Let's go up 10-3 in the halftime locker room. Let's make a big play. And then he just does that instead. And so I experienced Herbert as being very gun shy in the first half of this game, and he tried to, I think, get a little more aggressive in the second half. And then that's when the pressure started to get to him and holding onto the football. He's taking all these hits. You're also trailing, so they know, right? They can pass rush on you. But he left a lot of meat on the bone in the first half, man. It was tough to watch.